About 3 years ago, I set off on what had become the most important goal of my time here on YouTube. A goal that tested my ability to learn, a goal that tested my resolve, and a goal that tested my, at the time, new outlook on life. That goal was to get a 119 in Super Mario Sunshine. So, come on and join me as I tell you about my long, hard-fought journey on the road to 119. Where we last left off in this series was at the end of a week-long challenge where I attempted to bring my personal best time down from a 129 all the way to a 125. That challenge took place in 2023, and what you're seeing right now are some of the runs that took place in between then and the beginning of 2025. That stretch was a relatively uninteresting time for my speedrunning journey. No self-imposed challenges or anything like that, just slow improvement and lots of breaks. However, I came to a point in early 2025 where I'd realized that I'd been on the road to 119 for over 2 years. And while I'd been enjoying the journey, I knew that it was time to finally finish the story. And there was only one way to do that. And that was to grind. Okay. That is a PB by, wait, is that 2 seconds? Hello? Alright. 124.06. Not a PB. No, that lost me the 121 though. Well into my 119 grind, we find ourselves on the day of February 25th, 2025. A day that will now forever live in infamy. Well, at least to me. You see, I now know February 25th as the, and I really do mean this, absolute worst day of speedrunning I'd ever had. From game crashes to making very stupid mistakes to whatever this is. Auto split's messed up now. I'm just gonna reset. I just could not seem to get a run off of the ground. And even when I did get a run off the ground, you guessed it, I choked and killed the pace. Oh, and what's that? The game audio was delayed for half the stream and nobody told me? Great, fantastic, wonderful. But worst of all, above all of that though, was when I killed not just one, but 2 runs that made it to Pinna because I, for some reason, could not do mole skip. For those who don't know what mole skip is, it's where you skip the mole. While mole skip maybe isn't trivially easy, it also definitely is not difficult in the slightest. To kill a run on mole skip is kind of like dying in real life to choking on your spit. It's not a good look. I ended the day without a single finished run, which really cemented in my head that I had just played the absolute worst day of speedrun attempts I'd ever had. Going into the next day of attempts, not only was I feeling a bit tired, but I of course was full of self-doubt due to how the previous day had gone. I was expecting to play these runs pretty poorly. However, I expected wrong. Here are the highlights from the first run of that day. I'm fairly confident I won't fail Pinna 2 today, which is actually embarrassing. That happened twice. Let's get into a run. Lost a second there, not surprising, I don't care. If I lose like 2 seconds there, then I might consider resetting, because that's just like, why?
But being 1 second behind on airstrip doesn't matter to me because right now, like, single seconds don't matter all that much. I'd say what starts mattering are like 10-second intervals, mostly. Best possible time is a 1:16. I just have to play perfect for an hour and 10 minutes. Ugh, I hate it when that happens, man. Still get the instant kill though. Doesn't matter. Why do you have to level up your Pokemon on? Like, why? Oh. Does the game force you to do that? Decided to just take it slow for getting up the windmill. Super on my Mario till I sunshine. That's not the first time I've said or heard that. My thoughts on Shrek's new fire and... Oh, what Typhlosion? Is it just fire? Is Typhlosion straight fire? How many starters are a single type? That felt like that was gonna go, not gonna lie. I'm not surprised at all. It was mostly the spider movement. I think the goop, at least the brown goop, canonically tastes like candy. But his design is just so ugh. I like his design. I mean, it kind of... The only thing that makes me uncomfortable about his design is that inside his mouth looks like it's meat. So I'm like... Is PD, like, technically also meat? Not just a plant? Is that going in the water? No, dude, that was... If I literally waited an extra frame to throw that coconut. Okay, I think I'm centered. Yes, I am. Nice. Okay. Plus 20 for that coconut blunder. Should ask Matthew about that more. On how publicly we can talk about that. Nice. Beautiful. Beautifully done, Pianta 3. Nothing to see here. Just a future project idea. Yeah, that's a goal. That was beautifully done. I think that was near perfect. Except for the shine grab. I came up on the mushroom at a weird angle, so I just went for the bonk. Can he die on the chimney? Oh, actually, I don't know. He does the side flip grounded animation, right? On the chimney? If he does that, I don't think so, because I think he's invulnerable during that animation. Although I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I could have done one more dive there. You'd think I'd, by now, have at least tried to figure out the movement for this level. I kind of wing it every time for the entry. Focus. Nice. That was the part I'm mostly worried about failing in, although sometimes I do mess up at this top part. I've even fallen off this cube a couple of times in practice recently. Well, by a couple of times I mean once, but... Needlessly risky, really. Yeah, he was at 0 HP. That's a gold? Wait, how's it a gold? How is that a gold? Oh, did I get a momentum spin jump off that last red flip panel? I think I did. Or something. Or a momentum jump, maybe? I don't remember what exactly I did there. I spammed right too early there. Why am I going to the side there? I'm holding back on my controller. What? I don't know what just happened there. Was that too early? No. What? Dude, hello? Okay. Gonna lose a bit of time on this eel, that's fine. Probably like 20 seconds, actually. I didn't waste that much time in eel. That was maybe like a collective 20 seconds with the entry and the messed up, just like first part of the teeth cleaning. Could pull it off if I locked in. Luckily, that's what I'm known for. Should really learn sign strats, by the way. Sign strats. What is sign strats? Angry Max fraud? How did I lose time there? Hello? Reading the sign can make Piantissimo faster? You're gaslighting me. I don't believe that. Oh, well. Okay, lock in. I didn't get the speed I was meant to get there. Why did I get a slide there? Dude, side flips, please. Telling you, man, you only get side flips when you don't want them. Fast Chrono and Beyblade Bowser for the 120. I don't know if I've ever heard of Beyblade Bowser before. Is that like an IL only thing? Dude, how do I... That specific water dive, I always miss. Okay. I don't know Fast Corona, unfortunately. I know some stuff that can make it go faster than what I usually do, but I'm not very comfortable with it. Why does that keep happening? Hello? I hate this. Weird. Very weird. Look, I swear I'm pressing the L button first before moving my control stick, but apparently I'm not. Hello? Rocket? I'll have to play it safe on that one. Hello? Please. I just saw the PB flash before my eyes. Okay. PB by 30 seconds. We broke another minute barrier. Let's go. It's crazy how capable of 119 you are. I know, man. It's a lot of small things I consistently mess up, like the rocket storage at the end there. I mean, that's like kind of small. But my biggest thing is that I mess up like different things across different runs. So if I just have a run where everything comes together at least decently well, like this run, didn't I like threw the coconut into the water in GBS. Yeah, I lost 20 seconds because I threw the coconut into the water. You know, I never do that, but I did it this run, and if I had those 20 seconds, then I would have been nearly a 120. Or like eel. When do I ever miss cleaning the last tooth before the eel closes its mouth? I also just was like in a weird spot. Like for some reason I was holding back on my controller, but Mario kept trying to turn. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I jumped off of Cooper Blooper's tentacle in Rico 5 for some reason. I had a really bad line to the right coin button in Rico 6 for some reason. I bonked against Shadow Mario in Rico 7 for some reason. I never do that. That's basically why I don't have a 119. I have the strats, I have the skill, I just don't have the consistency.
Yeah, I got a PB on my first run of the day. Don't get me wrong, there were some mistakes and misplays here and there, but a PB is still a PB. And it was by nearly a minute, which is a pretty big accomplishment, mind you. At this point, after getting a PB, I usually like to hang up the stream there and play another day. However, I was feeling pretty good, so I decided to do another run. And this is when I did one of the most crazy things I've ever accomplished since I began speedrunning this game.
Oh, there's a specific way you have to stand at the flag. Okay, interesting. The woke Sunshine community has gone broke when they decided to remove Piantissimo from the game. I should make rage bait Super Mario Sunshine content. But I really love the Piantissimo bit. As well. As long as I don't have a completely off the rails awful Bianco 4, we should be back in the green here. So my Bianco 4 last run was also pretty bad. That was close to grabbing the tightrope. Very, very, very close. Bad angle. That was a really bad angle. Okay. I might have been getting shocked there. I should start doing the roll out there, but it's so scary, man. Is Il Piantissimo 2 more offensive or less? Than what? More. The answer is always more, actually. I almost boosted the coconut into the water with flood there. Holy! The coconut throw was bad, but I landed right in the spot and was able to recognize it. Usually I do a jump anyways for safety. That's the fastest I've ever done GBS from like throwing the fruit onto the hut onward. Wait, is this gonna gold? I just golded this last run. I might gold this again. I got up on the mushroom in a slightly better spot to where I felt comfortable not doing the bunk strat. Golded by 1/10 of a second. Pre-fence Shadow Mario as well. You know what the funny thing is? Today, I've been feeling like a little bit like tired today. Like physically just like drained. Because I did a lot of exercise last night. And so today I was thinking like, I kind of don't feel like streaming. But then I literally thought to myself, every time I don't feel like streaming but do it anyways and do speedruns, I almost always play like cracked out of my mind. And so far today has not been any different. Yeah. My Summer Best, which has a pretty good chance of having a bad, like, gold here in late game. Or an incorrect one. That was a little risky. There we go. We do gold. We do gold. Jim, the last one. Still a yellow cycle. I dropped a spin put, man. Oh, the single dropped spin put this entire run is that one. The single drop spin put, man. This is why I hate Noki 6, man. I should have just done the triple jump. Don't lose heart, this is still PB pace. That's true. Okay, yeah. Don't mess up Shadow Mario. We won't break another minute barrier today, but that's okay. Choking Max. I've been called that a lot lately. For different reasons, though. Okay. Slightly faster Shadow Mario than PB. Choky 6, I love that. I could get some really funny splits to run up against. Dude, that was a gold. Man. Yeah, I'm gonna try to gold Corona, but I'm not gonna try to throw it though. Oh, there goes my rollout. Got eaten by the glyph. Okay, well, I don't know about that anymore. I don't know about the gold anymore. Could have done the dive strat off that, but personally I don't want to attempt it. Why did I stop? Okay. I made sure to time that correctly. I think we're about on par into Bowser as we were in PB. I also had like a really good like Bowser last PB, not Chronomon, but Bowser itself for me. Anyways, I went a bit more aggressive on the rockets than I usually do. I'll try to do the same here. Rocket storage, man. No way, dude. Okay, come on, PB. I can't waste another rocket. Oh, okay. A PB by 20 seconds. Let's go. Wait, what did I mess up so badly that I gained 20 seconds there? That felt really bad. I don't remember. Oh, I guess the rocket storage, you're right. Gold was actually doable heading into Bowser. I think you're right. I really choked on Bowser there. trying to go fast.
2 PBs in one day, back to back no less. What's more though, is that the second PB I got that day, the 2110, was on a potential 119 pace up until I choked in Nogi 6, just 5 minutes away from Bowser. You could even say that I chokied 6. Awesome puns that I stole from chat aside, this actually gave me some real confidence that a 119 was just around the corner. The only thing I had to do was just keep playing.
Does this work? Missed both rounds. Too far to the right here. Yeah. 3 times in a row now. Why am I going that way? I think I'm too far to the right. The one it saved? No. Hello. What? Dude, why can't I play this level anymore? What happened? What happened? God, I'm so annoyed. Why does this happen? Where I'll have a level that I'm perfectly okay at, and then all of a sudden, something just like tweaks in my brain. Some chemical gets loose. I drink an amoeba that does damage to a neuron in my brain, or something. I don't know. And all of a sudden, there's just some level in Sunshine that I'm all of a sudden just awful at. Can't ever do. First it was Noki 2, or before that it was Pianta 4. Now it's Pianta 3.
What you just watched were the highlights of the next 3 weeks after my double PB day. Needless to say, I was playing less than stellar. In the moment, I was having trouble identifying how I could go from getting 2 PBs in a single day to somehow forgetting how to do spring clip of all things. But in hindsight, I think I fell into a trap of complacency. You see, leading up into my double PB day, I wasn't trying even close to my hardest to improve at the game. Both in practice and in runs, I'd mostly just been playing the game and hoping to improve off of that alone. And while that can be an effective practice strategy if you need to improve upon your consistency, you first need to know the how of what you're practicing, if that makes sense. So for instance, spring clip. Sure, I'd run Noki 2 a couple times in my practice sessions, but the reality for the longest time is that if someone had asked me to explain in detail how to do spring clip, or at least how to line Mario up for the spring clip, I'd sort of flounder. And the reason for that is because I'd mostly done it just off of feeling, rather than having an actual fundamental understanding of the trick. So when the time came where my muscle memory inevitably got corrupted, I didn't have a way to easily correct for the fact, since I really didn't understand how to angle Mario for the spring clip in the first place. The only way to fix something like this is to take it back to the drawing board and not only painstakingly rewrite the muscle memory, but to also understand the trick on a lower level, rather than just having an understanding based off of vibes, man. Unfortunately for me at the time, that's what I had to do, not just for spring clip, but also for Pianta 3 and Mole Skip. I had to take a couple of days off of speedrunning to make these adjustments, but once they were made, it was time to see if they'd pay off.
Have to reset or whatever. If it's like clear this run isn't PPing, I will end the run and probably end the stream. But we can at least try. Get the window open now, so I can't give my like Hail Mary cope of carbon dioxide parts per million. Or whatever it was that I said. But yeah, let's get into the next run. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I've been better at airstrip today than I have been. Although that backflip there isn't great. Well, it's not the worst. So this is what we're hoping to see. Out of Pianta, I want to not be more than a minute behind. If I'm a minute behind or more, then I'm going to heavily consider resetting. If I'm like around a minute behind, I'll probably try... Excuse me. I'm like getting like hunger hiccups. I don't know if that's a thing only I have, but when I start to get hungry, sometimes I start hiccuping. But anyways, if we're around a minute behind, like at that threshold out of Pianta, then I'm gonna try to get to EYG. You know, if I don't have any major time losses by EYG, and then EYG I can save time because my EYG and PB was pretty bad. If by that time I'm still like a minute or more behind, then it's definitely a reset. But out of Pianta, it's probably going to be a reset anyways. Torch. I don't think he turns around here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll give it a minute. Yeah, I don't want to like be too reset heavy anymore because we already did that today. Just kind of commit to a bad run for as long as I can, which... God, dude, why has my spider RNG been so bad lately? Like, it is always all the way over there. And when it's not, it's like coming from over there, so I still have to wait for it. So we're probably going to be like 20 seconds in the red here because of that Shadow Mario. And because of that spider RNG. Probably closer to like 15 seconds, I think. But a lot of speedrunners like really know how much time they're losing per every like small interaction. I don't. All right, let's see. Actually, I think it's gonna be a little bit less time than I thought. Closer to 10 than 15.
So this run did not start out fantastic, but it also wasn't bad. It sucks to get a slow prologue Shadow Mario kill, and it sucks for the spider to be so far away in Bianco 1.5, but aside from those two things, I was playing more or less standard. 13 seconds behind out of Bianco 2 is not prohibitively bad, so I continued on to Bianco 3 and 4, which were both perfectly decent. However, in Bianco 5, things started to go a bit sour. Not only did I somehow miss the PD wake up twice, but I also got some pretty bad RNG for PD's flight path. Now over 30 seconds in the red, it was time to see how my Gelato and Pianta would go. Remember, not only was I fighting against a PB with a super clean early game, but I am also now playing with a 30-second disadvantage against that PB. As such, unless I played at my absolute best here, I would start slowly leaking time throughout Gelato and Pianta. Now remember what I said earlier, if I come out of Pianta a minute or more behind, then it'll be GG's for this run. I'd reset and go on to next. So now with that in mind, let's see how the rest of my early game went.
Hasn't somebody gotten the worst path before? Like, I might be misremembering this, but didn't Pixel get the worst path or something in a run? Dude, don't go over. Well, that was bad. That's the commentary everybody comes here for. That was bad.
Oof. That is not what you want to see when the win condition is to be less than a minute behind out of Pianta, especially since I wasn't even in Pianta yet. I guess the silver lining here is that Gelato Shadow Mario went more or less smoothly, which now leads us to our moment of truth. Would I do good enough in Pianta to come out less than a minute behind? Or would I throw this run away like I had so many others?
I said this earlier, but I like repeating myself. After I do fetch entry real quick, of course, though. Sorry, my brain is fried right now. So this run is going to be the last run of the day, probably. And what I'm looking for is to continue the run. Out of Pianta, I want to be at most like a minute behind, although I'll give it some leniency if it's like kind of close to that threshold. And then I'll see where we are. Oops, didn't mean to side flip there. See where we're at after EYG. If EYG, I'm still like significantly behind, then I'm just gonna reset and that'll be the last run. Or like I'll end stream then. Oh, I was just like really fast there apparently. Jeez. Gold? I don't know, that the last chain chompa was pretty bad because I just was like so early on the window for the last chain chompa, I thought it wasn't going that path. Let's see. No, not quite a gold. There are 774 possible patterns. Are they all equal? Because I thought some patterns are more likely than others. Because the more nodes you introduce into a pattern, the least likely it becomes, right? Or is that to say like it's actually kind of incalculable, or not incalculable, but like just too complex. Don't know the exact odds, which is fair because that's like top level Mario Sunshine trivia knowledge, I feel like, without being like super deep into like specific code things. Not gonna gain or lose any meaningful amount of time here because it's Pianta 2. Unless I like clutch up, probably losing time in Pianta 3. I was like really comfortable with the GWK dive strat here, but now I've been like really cagey about it. Like, or I don't know, cagey isn't the right word, but I don't know. It makes me nervous now going for it because I messed it up enough recently. Yeah, so I didn't even get the momentum spin jump there. Side flip, please. Okay, yeah, we're losing like 10 seconds here. Okay, well, 10 seconds was a great exaggeration by about 66%. All right. Chain chomp. That's wild. And Pixel had it happen to them twice. In fact, Pixel was one of my earliest Twitch viewers when I streamed on Twitch. That's actually crazy getting with those odds. I'm always early on that grab now. Oh, they could be fabrications. I'm pretty sure Pixel got the worst RNG at least once. Like I'm fairly certain I'm remembering that right, but I'm not really 100% sure. I don't know. I guess I'm like 70% sure. That's my confidence level in remembering that Pixel got it at least once. Pretty sure I would have like wall slid there. Nice. Give me an easy early cycle, please. The hard ones I'm too scared to do. Well, not with this this pathing through the secret. I almost messed it up too. I almost messed it up. Well, okay. We have an early cycle, still in the red, which is kind of tragic, but
talk about being bailed out by RNG. Even though this run was damn near being on life support, and even though I played through the Pianta secret extremely slowly, which decreases the odds of getting an early cycle, I still got lucky enough to not only get an early cycle, but to get an easy one that I felt confident in going for as well. If you didn't know, when Piantas walk from point to point, they stay stopped for a more or less random amount of time, which means that where exactly this final chuckster is going to be is random, within a range. The vast majority of the time, this chuckster is going to be moving too fast for him to be able to throw you right away, and you're instead going to have to wait for him to walk all the way over here before being thrown, since he has a limited range and all of that. So, even though I was still 12 seconds behind coming out of this very lucky Pianta 5, I knew I had some big time save waiting for me in Noki 6. If I could just hold on to this run until then I at worst could get a PB, and at best, this could be my coveted 119 run.
Is that like if you're going too slow? Stupid hover. Bonk because of slope speed. Awesome. Oops. Okay, not like the world's fastest Pianta, but I backed up my mistakes fairly well. And a 203 actually isn't that bad for the bridge movement I had. Like, if we kept about this pace into Noki, then we'd easily get a PB. Like if we kept it through Noki, except Noki 6, I just didn't die in. And there's actually still plenty of room of mistakes left in that as well. Okay. But that's the hardest thing I find about Monkey Ball. Is no camera movement. Yeah, or the center camera or anything. Okay, sure, that was a pretty good honey skip. I got to it pretty fast. Sometimes it takes me a long time to line up the shadow. I respect and enjoy Monkey Ball, but I think it not having a camera control is just an objectively bad and confusing decision. Or maybe not objectively, but it's just like unjustifiable, at least. Second time I missed that rocket grab today. Maybe it's not Spam Spray RNG. Could it be that I'm just bad? Can we make it way easier and remove a lot of the fun? That's what my friend was telling me when I was playing with him. I thought it was just cope, but now I'm hearing it from a second person. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Also, by the way, exactly to the dot, to the millisecond perfect or on pace pin 01, which includes honey skip. That's awesome. Man, I am nervous about UIG. What's my record? It is it's the time that's right up above like the green timer, the 1:21:10. That is my personal best. Technically, if I play at the absolute peak I've ever played before, but not any better, I could get a 117 this run. That'd actually be crazy if I 117 out of a 121. Yeah, let's not. Oh, well, good thing I didn't finish my sentence there, because that was going to be embarrassing. Yeah, let's not completely mess up pin 3 is what I was going to say. Dude, what? Okay. Why does this happen to me so much? Where I've been so consistent at this, but then just earlier today, I said, man, this is really easy. I can't believe there was ever a world where I was bad at this. And now the next 2 runs after that, immediately after me saying that, I've messed it up. This happens like all the time. I can't think of examples right now, but oh wait, well yeah, pin a cannon. Right before I messed that up, I said the new strat was so easy and you can't mess it up, or something. What's the hardest shine in the speedrun for me? I think I want to say Noki 6. Noki 1 is pretty hard, but the thing about Noki 1 is that unless you really mess it up badly, it's pretty easy to recover from making mistakes. So it doesn't like feel as hard. I think Noki 6. Because getting into the secret is hard, and then the secret itself is also hard. And both of them have like, are super punishing for messing up badly. Dang it. Okay, that's fine. I don't know what determines. So sometimes when you get hit midair, sometimes it stuns you and bonks you to the ground. Sometimes it just hurts you and you jump off and then you can ground pound immediately after it. I could have done that and saved this, but I just kind of assume I'm going to get bunked out of it.
I did some research into this Snooze Conundrum, and this is what I came up with. Let's see here. It's just hitbox shenanigans. You see, the Snooze Koopas have more or less 2 hitboxes, one to hurt Mario and one for Mario to jump off of. So, depending on Mario's velocity and probably some quarter frame BS, sometimes Mario gets hit by the damage part of the hitbox, but then immediately jumps off of the bouncing part of the hitbox. It's sort of like in this example here, where you can cancel bonking by landing on a bouncy surface. After some testing, it seems to me that the most consistent way to cancel the hurt bonk from the Snooze Koopas is to hover into them. All of that said though, I'm usually trying to avoid getting hit by the Snooze Koopas in the first place, since getting hit by any Snooze Koopa activates a cooldown for the rest of the Snooze Koopas that prevents them from doing their ground pound attack.
Lying to my audience by saying you practice. I do! I practiced for hours yesterday on secret stages. Almost went the wrong way there. My dog is scratching on my door. If that noise is coming through the mic, that's what it is. She'll just immediately leave anyways if I let her in, so I'm just JP. Forgot about that. JP moment. It's actually kind of nice having this stew just like around. Okay. We actually did EYG. Finale sounds unlikely. I actually do need to get that video out soon because the 119 is going to happen relatively soon, I'm pretty sure. I'd like for that video to come out before the 119, even on stream. That way at the end of the video I can advertise people to come by the stream. Really? That's really the main reason. Playing it safe. Okay. That was... I'm saving time here. A lot of it. Dude, this could be the 119 right here. We're in the green now. We're in the green. Am I 119ing this stream? Oh no. Got a vertical jump for the quick kill. When nobody else wants to do the vertical jump, you gotta be the one to stand up and say, I will, and get that beef. People who don't know what I'm referencing are so confused right now. Play within 2 minutes max. I can do it. Dude, my PB, from like Pinna onwards, I was within like, what was it, like 20 seconds of a 119? And I kept within like a 119 pace up until Noki 6. That's crazy.
Well. Not only had I maintained a decent pace into EYG, but coming out of Pinna as a whole, I had now painstakingly pulled this run back into the green. This being the first decent pace I'd had out of Pinna in quite a while, added with the fact that I had some 119 naysayers in chat, really put the pressure on. But despite the pressure and how bad that pressure feels while performing, I still kept on running. At this point, we're gonna skip past most of Rico since nothing incredibly interesting happened, although that's actually a good thing, mind you. Remember, all I have to do is just to play the rest of this run without any major mistakes for a chance at a 119. And by major, we're talking mistakes that would cost me 30 seconds or more. And with every bit of extra time saved, we increase that mistake budget. So when I came out of Rico with an extra 15 seconds of time saved than I went in with, I felt pretty darn good. That was until I immediately threw those extra 15 seconds away in Bianco 6, but we don't need to talk about that, okay? And besides, that wasn't the only bad thing to have happened in Bianco 6. Unfortunately, I had also run out of recording space while playing this apparently cursed level. I of course was able to download the stream VOD to continue this video, but for some reason YouTube only let me download it in 720p despite it being uploaded in 1080p. I'm not really sure what's up with that. So if the video looks a bit fuzzier from now on, and if the audio editing is also slightly worse, now you know why. Anyways, all of those distractions aside, this is how my Serena went.
Zoom out, cam, delay manta split. Thank you. You. What? Excuse me? I'm on Yoshi now? Okay. Will I go to Isle Delfino at 1 million subs? Of course. I went to Isle Delfino in real life. I'm now like 70% sure my dog is getting into the trash because I can hear the trash bin being moved around. So I'm gonna have to try to do something about it after Manta. Dude. Jeez, these mantas are relentless, man. But like, to be fair, I'm also like distracted right now. Okay. Get ready to get up. I won't have enough time to actually do something, because I'm just gonna have to like yell at my dog or something. I don't know. Don't know how to feel about that Manta. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Okay. Hey! Don't have time. I don't have time. Man. Okay, well, there's gotta be a mess to clean up after my speed run. Time save? Oh yeah, I did save time. Wait, what? That's crazy. You trust my dog to make good decisions? I don't. When I was younger, we'd come home, because I've had her since I was like 12 or something like that. We'd come home and she'd like be on top of the kitchen table or something. She's been a hardcore scavenger. She's chilled out a little bit in that aspect in her older age, but she still can get kind of crazy. Oh, dude, I hate it when you lose the wall jump there for no good reason. Okay, max aura right now. I always have max aura. You can fill in the rest of that awful joke, I'm sure. Yeah, for a second I was, after that second spin jump dive into the rollout, I knew it was bad, but I was like, I'm sure this ledge grab's here. And so I committed to it anyways, because waiting for the slow rollout there, I think would have also been like pretty bad. And I was pretty sure I didn't die there. But yeah, that was very scary. Nice. I should get in the habit of pausing my recording during warm-up to save extra space. Oh, don't worry about that right now. I think I still would have landed that without YCam, but I might have. I think I would have still landed that without YCam, but I might have, like, with the momentum I had, just walked immediately off the edge. Oh. Shart is the word to describe that moment.
Whew. Yes, past me. Shart is indeed the correct word to describe the ending to that Serena 4. Anyways, I just popped in here to say that Serena 5, the King Boo level, went a-okay. I didn't get any extra cycles, but my fruit placement could have been better. Honestly, I just find King Boo to be kind of boring to watch, so I'm just summarizing it so we can skip right on ahead to Serena 6.
You're shaking. What do you think I'm feeling? Okay. Serena 6. Play it safe. Safe is slow, slow is fast. $218? Hello? Gold alert. What? that was a second and a half within my best IL time there ever, by the way.
Yeah, so before this episode of Road to 119 was supposed to come out, I had meant to make a sort of intermediary video about how I practice for speedruns. The main focus of that video was on the level we just watched, Serena 6. The point of that video was for me to show off just how much effort goes into the refinement of even just a single stage. You're gonna have to stay with me here, but imagine that you're in the alternate timeline where that video came out just a couple of months ago, where you got to see my painstaking process to learn Serena 6. And now you get to see the direct payoff of the alternate timeline video here, where I golded my Serena 6 during a run. That video might be coming out in a few months from now as a sort of last episode Road to 119 type of deal. So if that sounds interesting to you, I guess you should probably subscribe and hit the bell and whatever, all that junk I'm supposed to tell you. Anyways, all of that aside, let's get back to the run to see how I finished out Serena and then started in Noki.
Yo, thank you, Wookies. You're joining in on the potential 119 stream I've been grinding for forever now. Don't get your hopes up too much though. Noki is like choky, you know? I could like mess up Spring Clip because that's something I do apparently now. I could do one of like 20 mistakes you can make in Noki 6 to lose 30 plus seconds of time. Bonk on the stairs, that's okay. We lose a bit of time. I could get swallowed by eel. I could miss a coin in the bottle. I could do that. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Great advice, actually. Oops, I missed my angle there. Second time today I've done like that exact line of movement. Glad I waited. We get a 119 where we get a hilarious ending to the rod. Imagine I accidentally clipped through the ground on Shadow Mario again, thus soft locking you out of the shine. Let's not die to Spring Clip, please. I really tried labbing this out past couple of days. The Spring Clip specifically. Okay, just do it right here. Nice. Okay. Why did I do that? Because so I would find myself going off way more to the right than I thought I was holding with Spring Clip. What I just do now is hold my stick left, then center it. Got the fast momentum reversal there. This is actually going to be a good Noki 3 as well, again. No, it's not. Why'd I speak? Where I don't even know where I am. Okay, well, never mind. Not going to be a good Noki 3. It's probably going to break like even though. Oh wait, no, we're still getting hella time here. I'm not going to go for 6 tooth here. Not that I ever do, but I'm not going to go for like the fake 6 tooth like I did last run that almost got me swallowed. Like the 5.5 tooth, I guess. I'm not gonna go for 5.5 half tooth. Ugh. I nearly went for it. I so had time for 6 tooth there, I'm pretty sure. Like, if that was ever a 6 tooth for me, like, setup, that was it. Nice. Get the cutscene skip. Shine is intangible for a second, so it's okay to not be right on... Can't speak. It's okay to be not right on top of it. All right. We get the sort of relaxation level here. There's a bit of execution here now with sign strats, but in general, this is like a level you kind of just get to take a deep breath. And the tightrope movement here actually is kind of important too. Case in point. Okay, that's fine. Minus a second. If I lost it beyond T-Smoke here, I'd actually the 119 is over. Never doing it. Never streaming any percent ever again.
Road to 119 started as a way to address this nagging feeling that I had felt ever since I began speedrunning Sunshine. You see, speedrunning is a very, very time-consuming thing, ironic as that may sound. You spend hours learning, then hours practicing what you've learned, then hours applying what you've practiced, so on and so forth. I really enjoy speedrunning. However, the main reason why I'm here on YouTube, to make videos about Sunshine, somehow never quite crossed with this major time sink. Speedrunning was basically stream-only content that Twitch would just throw away anyway. And in that case, what's the point? And all of that was at a time where I was really struggling to get my foot in the door as a creator, and as a result, it really felt like that I either needed to find a way to fit speedrunning into the overall picture, or find a better use of my time. All of this led to the production of one of my lesser known videos, titled What Speedrunning for a Year Taught Me. That video had a troubled production, and I think it shows. Despite that, I'm proud of that video and its message. And just like the key takeaway from that video, that it's up to you to make your own meaning in life, I had decided not to abandon speedrunning, but instead that it was time to give speedrunning a new meaning to me. Right then and there, I had quietly set the goal to eventually achieve a 119. And it sounds obvious now, but that is how Road to 119 started. Well, the footage you're watching now is a little over 2 years later. On March 21st of 2025, the culmination of years of practice, the culmination of hundreds of attempted runs, the culmination of a journey of self-discovery and growth had finally come upon us. It was time to finally follow through with this over 2-year-long challenge, to finally achieve what I knew I could all along. It was time to break my limits. Oh my god. The 119 is real! I am not gonna lie, I was not expecting that to happen this run. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I can stop the grind for now. Which sounds like I hated it, but honestly, at some points there were low points, but I loved every second of it. Oh my gosh. I've been doing this for 2 years, Road to 119, I think, or maybe a year and a half or something. It's real. The 119 is real. After resetting over and over again today, I wrote off today as like a bad day for runs. Oof. I'm like shaking, man. Oh, I'm like at a loss for words right now, honestly. At this, I like was not mentally prepared for a 119 at all today. A mid one, yeah. This wasn't okay. Wait, I had a what, a 120 like 40, or was it 121 40? I forget. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter because I'm a 119 now. Gotta give us a good speech. This is gonna be in the road to 119. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Yeah. Well, yeah, JR. Yeah, you hate your words. Thank you everybody for sticking by. Above playing the game and such, having people to chat with and come say hi and know I have an audience who enjoys watching has made this all the more, it's made it doable, to be honest. I don't know if I would even commit to this grind like on my own if I didn't have, you know, an audience, people to be here. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I'm so lost for words right now. 119 isn't like the craziest time ever, but having spent 2 years working on it, like on and off, of course, but having spent 2 years on it, it's just such an accomplishment for me. And thank you everybody for being here and cheering me on and everything. Whew. The end. I guess the silver lining is that Gelato Mario. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. I guess the shadow lining. Jesus, why is this a tongue twister?